Hey everyone, we are live from my backyard where I am smoking these meat like a brisket. I'm making meats now. Someone asked me, do I smoke meat? That's gonna be delicious. Yeah, if I smoke meat, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Give me the sock, give me the sock. C-U-C-C sock. Say my name, baby. Give me the sock, give me the sock. C-U-C-C sock. Smoking meat, hello to you.
Hello, live stream. Hello to you. We are setting up for Friday. The Friday stream. So
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday.
Join us over at irc.geekshed.net. Octothorpe, Jupiter Broadcasting, pound, # Octothorpe, Jupiter Broadcasting, or bit.ly/Jupiter chat for a full tab chat. We're setting up for a fun show. And the crew's still filtering in right now, so you got a little bit of time over on your end. So come on over. Pour yourself a cold one and join us. We'll get going here in just a little bit. I think we'll probably kick things off today with a little millionaire, too, so get your trivia hats on. In the meantime, come on, join us for the Friday stream. It's Friday. All right, I'm slowly activating Mumble. Slowly. Let's go ahead and do the start_ show so we get that done too. Yes. Oh, it's nice and warm in here today. It's going to be a warm show. We got a hot show. Nice and musty.
Wes was right. Man, that one's getting a lot of use. He played it at, I think, on Coder. It ended up on the cutting room floor. No, it was TechSnap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the right time.
Yeah.
Thunder. So, Jackie, when we play Millionaire later today, do you feel like being our guest contestant?
That kind of depends. What do I need to do there?
We're still doing general trivia, so it'll be like, like it starts at $100, which is like basic questions, and then you work your way up to $1 million, and they get more difficult. And I think what we'll do is, like, if you get to, I don't know, we have to pick a number, but then you get to a certain number, then somebody in the chat room wins a game.
Okay. Sure. That sounds fun.
It is fun. It is pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a blast.
And it makes lots of work for Drew, so that's always fun.
It does.
It's got some great. My favorite thing is just got some great stingers. You know, they're so much fun. It's been a while. I'm out of practice. You see, I gotta get my practice up.
Cheesy.
What?
Yeah, man. Ba 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 ba.
Are you guys on? Is this the internet?
No,
It is the
It's a
internet.
series of tubes, dude. It's a series of tubes.
No, I heard it's like a big truck.
Yeah, I heard Amazon has the internet trucks.
Hell
They, like,
yeah,
drive
they do.
around.
Hell yeah, they do. You know, and Microsoft has a data center submarines. So
What?
yeah, man, it's for real.
No.
Yes.
Links are lies, bro.
Yep, they put containers under the water off of the ocean, and they run internet cables back up onto the sea because it handles cooling a lot better.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
What a
real.
fucking brilliant idea.
It is real. Mm-hmm.
Sea cooling.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, who
Coming
cares?
to
I
an
mean, it just
internet
makes
near
the
you.
oceans a little bit warmer. It's no big deal. It's a little bit, you know?
Hey, at least it's at least they're containing the plastic in a metal box, right?
Yeah, that's true. Hello, Jill, Bite, and Brent. I hear nothing from them. Did they get muted again? Where was that last time? Wes. Who I hear echo too. I hear a little bit of echo back from somebody. Anybody else hear an echo? Chris is loud. Chris is loud. Chris is loud. Chris is loud. Chris is loud.
I'm hearing it a tiny.
Chris is loud.
Okay, that might be your headphones.
Chris is
Yeah, let
loud.
me
Chris
sit
is loud. Yeah, that might
back
be Jackie's.
from my
Yeah.
microphone a bit.
Chris is too loud. Chris is too loud. Chris is too loud. I kind of still barely hear it, I think.
Yeah.
Is that better? Here.
Can you turn down your volume in your headphones a little bit?
Yeah.
Let's
Or-
see.
Will you still be able to hear us?
Wes, it's not muted. Where's Wes? It's not muted, Wes. Hey, Brent, say something real quick. See, maybe you can't hear me. Jill, can you hear me in Mumble? Yeah. What is the deal? Why is it like this every other time we use Mumble? Like, we go to use it on Tuesday, it's flawless. We open it up on Friday, and they can't hear us, and we can't hear them. If that's not odd, I don't know what is. I don't think Mumble knows how computers work.
Yeah, I think that's better, Jackie. I'm not hearing Chris anymore.
Check. Yeah. Yeah. So, Jill, in the chat room, can you hear us in the Mumble room?
They say you're in the wrong mumble room.
Oh, is that what it is? Let me see. That is across the room. Let me go over there. Oh! Hello!
Yeah.
Hello. How are you?
Heyo,
Hi.
heyo, you're in the
Now-
right place.
Now we hear you, Chris.
Good.
You weren't muted, you were just lost.
Feels like that often.
Chris, maybe you need to call some hotline or something.
I just need to have a Pocket West that's always in the studio. You know, you just call Wes, and he just shows up and fixes it.
That'd be cute. A little tiny pocket, Wes.
Yeah.
You could probably make a good
Hey, Chris,
probably
I'm
make
hearing
a good business out of that.
Go ahead, Brent.
No, it was me. I was hearing myself and everyone back again, and I forgot I had the stream open. So, small,
Probably that's a thing.
small. Oops.
That is tricky. Caller, please turn down your radio. Caller, if you would please turn down your
Really?
radio, caller. All right. Well, we're gonna get set up here. So, I can't remember. I think Wes is joining us today, and then let's do a little millionaire here in a bit. Let's get ready for that too. We'll do a classic edition.
What any idea what you'd like to give away?
Hey,
We got some good ones.
yeah. Got any suggestions, Jill?
I like
How,
the
Hey, do you have any
Oh,
suggestions for giveaways today?
Yeah. How about Mad Max?
yeah. See, that's I was thinking. Mad Max would be a good one,
Yeah.
or Middle Earth would be a good one because they're
Yes.
Linux as well. So
Exactly.
super
We
awesome.
could do 32,000. We could do a 16. What are the money? The price points? So we could do a 1,000 giveaway and a 32,000 giveaway.
Oh, that sounds good.
So we need to pick 2 people, and then Jackie will be our new contestant as our guest, and she will get us up to either whatever she gets to. That's how. So if she gets to 32, then we give away 2 games.
I make no promises about getting anywhere.
That's right.
But I will try.
So what about Jackie and Jill was on it last week, right? Was it?
We didn't do one last week.
The week before last.
I can't remember. And I know we had Mike on there recently.
Was Jill on there?
I can't remember.
Jill, did you do Millionaire?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I just gave out
Drew.
games. I wasn't involved, contestant.
So we might want to Jill and Jackie.
No. Remember we decided we're only doing 1 contestant because it takes too long.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 contestants, it kind of starts to drag. So we'll just. That's why I was doing it based on money. So if so, in the past, the way we would do it is whoever got the higher dollar amount gave away the game. But now to keep it tighter to only 1 contestant, we're just going to do giveaways at different price points in the game.
Nice.
Does that make
Sounds
sense?
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to edit for me too.
I'll be a contestant whenever you want me to, Chris and Cheesy.
Okay. All right. We're putting you on the list then. That's gonna
That's a
happen.
dangerous offer.
Hello,
I
Wes.
Wes,
Happy
Friday.
That's Friday.
Hi, Wes.
think. Hello, nice to virtually meet you. I've heard many good things.
Aw, same here, Wes. No, I've been enjoying watching you on streams for a long time.
What kind of a monster wouldn't like Wes Payne or Jill? Oh, that kind of person would have to be a monster.
Aw.
Me, that's understandable. But Wes Payne or Jill, that's monster. All right,
Well,
chat
I'm
room.
going to go get myself prepared, so I'll be right back, and then I'll be ready to go.
All right, chat room, you two, go grab yourselves a beverage. Help us do a little retweet when the tweet goes out here in a minute. Get us ready. Get us ready by telling people out there about it. And join us over at irc.geekshed.net. That's pound Jupiter Broadcasting, or you can go in your browser tab of choice at bit.ly/JupiterChat. Last but not least, of course, that same chat is embedded over at jblive.tv. All right, I should probably go tell. Speaking of that, I should practice what I preach. I'm going to go tell some people in the Telegram group that we're live. How about that?
Do it.
All right. Oh my gosh, it's warm in here.
This music, it makes me feel like I'm at an early 2000s rave.
We're at a dance party, yeah. Just picture the studio as like a dance club right now with like different hues, lights flashing. You know, it's a dance party in the studio. Subwoofers in the floor.
Yep. It's bumping.
Oots. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Get my glow sticks out.
Do it.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a bit of a show, don't we?
Yeah, I'm
Hey.
putting stuff toward the end there too in the.
I got a question for you. Is anybody in here? What should we? Now you know how much I kind of hate taking shows off, but I was just thinking a lot of us are going to be either getting ready to travel. 1 or 2 of us may even be traveling. Is that right? Is my time math right, or am I 1 week off? I'm 1 week off, aren't I?
Well,
No, or am I?
I will be traveling the 11th, which I believe is Sunday. After next Friday.
Right. But okay. So is it valuable for us to have that Friday time to prepare for traveling?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt, especially for Elle. And she's going to be going from one conference. To the
Right.
other.
I'm just trying to figure out if we're going to do that. We better decide now, and we should let people know in this episode if we're going to take next week off for travel. You know what I mean?
Well, the week of, it'll be a big show.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I know.
I'm liking this Friday chill we got going on.
I know, right?
Chill stream.
You know, all we need right now are those swanky drinks from that Thompson.
Oh yeah, man.
That would be perfect.
Well, I spent all my money on the waiters and waitresses. They don't have anything to serve, and so I didn't have any money left over for the booze. But thanks for being here, guys. Yeah, just go ahead and just stand there and enjoy the show. So I got an audience, very expensive audience.
cool.
All right.
Cheese is not impressed.
I guess not. I feel like I need to go refill my water, and then I'm ready.
Yeah, you better get ready.
I'm just waiting for the day that Chris orders DoorDash in the middle of a stream and
Oh, it's
invites the
happened.
DoorDash guy in.
Oh, that's never happened.
Hey, you want to be on a podcast?
I have hollered. I have left the studio door
But if
open.
he had
and-
if he had a Davis voice or something, you probably would,
yeah.
right? You just need the right.
Oh yeah.
current.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. I mean, no kidding. I have hollered from the door like, I'm at the door getting food now, while I'm on the live stream. I've done that. All right. I'll be right back. Gonna go refill.
Is anyone seen Chris's tweet? Did he tweet anything? I'm trying to retweet, but I'm trying to be a good
Not yet.
Samaritan.
You're so
I'm
helpful.
seeing nothing.
I don't believe he has yet.
I'm about as helpful as I can be without being any help at all. So,
Your moral support is always appreciated.
is that from the soundboard?
What? What happened?
No, but it did kind of sound like it.
should,
What happened?
It should go to some.
What happened? I
Sure
missed a
did.
good soundboard night. What happened?
Yeah, oh yeah, you certainly did.
Dang it! Those are my favorite.
It was a Wes's. Your moral support is always appreciated.
Oh, I can picture it so perfectly. Ah, that's good. All right.
Hey, I do have an audio question for you.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Am I sounding better and not in a cave this week?
Yes.
Better than
you
last
are.
week, yes. Not your best, but better than last week.
Yeah, not up to your usual
Better
Brett
than
standards.
Lup.
Not like truck standard, but this is.
Right. Not as good as the cab of the
not
truck.
truck studio.
I'm literally under a blanket to try to
Oh.
see what the best of the best is, and this is obviously not it. so-
Congratulations. That is definitely a rite of passage in podcasting. That's
Well, so my head is on
under the
fire, and
blanket.
the rest of me is getting cooled off. So
Starts under a blanket, then you'll be in a closet.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that 90% of the less good parts of you sounding right now is from mumble and not necessarily from your setup.
oh, that's so kind of you. Thanks.
Very welcome, Brent. Miss you, buddy.
You mean I can?
Are you
take
coming
this
down for
blanket
the
off my
sprint?
head? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. But Brian, what's the details on the sprint so far? What are the details?
Oh yeah. I have every intention to be there, and I'm booking my ticket tonight because of a variety of things that were all moving around. But now I've got some stamped down details, so you will hear later.
Awesome.
I know that's not that exciting, but I'm planning on being there basically Monday to Friday. So
Right on.
ta-da!
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, we have fun things in store and lots of work, so it'll be good.
I like work and I
got
like
a-
fun.
yeah, we got a good
and
mix.
I don't love stores, but you know.
Is everybody on Source Connect ready to record?
Ready?
Yeah, let me find my Reaper window and then I'll be ready.
Sure.
Prepare for cooking.
Oh, wait. I gotta not do what I did last time. I gotta actually save the thing.
Learning is hard.
You're telling me.
And he's the expert.
That's right.
He's usually
In
not
just a
live
second.
though. That's the thing.
Do I not
Did I
have?
hear a dial in?
Oh shoot! I don't have. I don't have levels.
Everybody
of-
do their disk space check here.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is 12, right?
Let's see. Source Connect out. All right, there we go. It's just not wired to the right one by default. And do I have Airmaster? Yeah, this is 12. Do I have Master of Air? What's the matter, baby?
For some reason, Audacity was like, you know what? No, today we're going to use your internal microphone.
So let's
I'm glad
see
I just
here.
happened to look. Jesus.
Yep, I got Airmaster. That's Airmastered Air. Okay, very good. Mumble, I already checked. Soundboard. Let's check soundboard. Could somebody go get Spock? I need to check the soundboard. Jeez, Spock, could you run your scanner for me, please? Thank you. Thank you. All right. We got that. All right, so everything's good here. So I'm ready to record. Shit, look at me. Mm-hmm. Okay. How about I count us down? We'll do a 3, 2, 1 record. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
3, 2, 1, record. Boom! Hello, future Drew. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Whoa, that was you. Don't respond usually that fast. All right. Well, it's good. I can see the caffeine's kicking in just in time, so I timed that just right. Now let's just hit a little oxygen. This is for you, Joe. Too bad the thing's running out. It's not as funny.
Careful, don't explode.
I know, and now the damn thing's almost out, so it doesn't have that same sound effect. Say something again there, Wes.
Hello.
Huh. Level seems super... You sound great in my headphones, but in Reaper... and I think Reaper must be getting dry audio. It's really low.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can come up. My levels look okay
you're
locally.
Fine. Yeah, that's all that matters. That's all we care about, them local levels. All right, so then let's do our count so Drew can sync it up. So everybody jump in at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
All right, and then now we will do our moments of silence. So you all just sit there real good likes and don't make no noises. And we're going to do our silence in 3, 2... Somebody's got a truck.
Yeah, it was me.
We can wait.
We know who lost the silence.
Oh, no, we're good.
You think it's good? You think it's enough? Or you want to do another one?
Yeah, I got plenty.
Right.
I got plenty.
I got plenty of silence. Okay, all right. Very good. Then we will proceed as planned. Ladies and gentlemen. Although I don't know if I got my silence here. I'll just be silent for a second. My silence and actual silence is sometimes I can't tell the difference in my headphones. I have to look at the actual levels on the thingy. All right. So, Jackie, what we're going to do now is the old millionaire game. Just like you know it from TV, only worse because it's been hosted by me and the questions were made by some game on the internet. But
Fun.
we have fun with it, and you'll already be in the show for a bit. Drew will probably put this towards the end of the episode and all that kind of stuff. So that's just sort of, you kind of have the context of it. And we'll
Sounds
just
good.
go till you either get a wrong answer or you hit $1 million. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, Drew, here we go. Now, this is the actual official start right here in 3, 2. Well, after taking some time off, it's important that we take a moment and give away some video games. In fact, stocked more than ever thanks to Jill. We have some great games to give away, and we have a new contestant joining us on the Friday Stream Millionaire game. For the first time, it is our new special guest, Jackie. Jackie, are you ready to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I am so ready.
I love it. I like the enthusiasm. That's good. All right, let's do this thing. All right, for $100, what is used to drive a nail? A spoon, a pitchfork, a screwdriver, or a hammer?
While I want to say screwdriver, it's definitely hammer.
I mean, you can
Final
do it.
answer.
All right, wow. All right, busting out the final answer. All right, locking that in. And surprise, surprise. Well, maybe not. You are correct. Very good. Now we move on to $200. For $200, whose nose grows every time he tells a lie? Kermit the Frog, Donald Duck, Pinocchio, or Mickey Mouse?
I just want to point out that most of those options don't even have noses. Pinocchio.
Fair. I'm assuming final answer then.
Yeah, final answer.
Yes, you are correct. Very good. All right, moving on to $300 now. Jackie, if you get to $1,000, we're going to give away one game today to somebody in the audience. If you make it to $32,000, we're going to give away 2 games. So let's try to get you to $1,000. So for $300, which of the following breakfast cereals is not produced by Kellogg's? Crisp-X, Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, or Fruit Loops? You do have 3 lifelines as well.
Oh, gosh.
Not produced by Kellogg's. Crisp-X, Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, or Fruit Loops?
I don't even eat cereal. I have no idea.
Don't either. We have Phone a Cheesy as well as Ask the Chat Room.
All right, tell me those options one more time.
All right, not Kellogg's, Crispex,
Not Kellogg's.
Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, or Fruit Loops. I'm trying to like play the commercials from my childhood.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. You know what? I'm gonna go with Lucky Charms. I think it's Lucky Charms.
Okay, all right, locking in Lucky Charms. Final answer?
Oops, sorry. Final answer.
Okay, here we go. You are correct. Well
Yes.
done. Well done. All right.
I was gonna lose it on $300 question.
No, you did it for $500. What is the square root of 25? 1, 5, 10, or 12?
5.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right. 5. Submitting that to the computer. And the computer says your math checks out. You are correct.
Score.
All right, very good. Now, for the $1,000 question, this was the first game giveaway right here. What color is the top half of a Campbell's soup can label? I'll say that again since it was a little tricky. What color is the top half of a Campbell's soup can label? Blue, red, white, or gold?
Red. Final answer.
Oh, confident with the final answer, too. All right. You got it.
That
You
was so
got it.
much suspense.
You got it.
I was like, there's no way I got this wrong.
Congratulations. We're giving away we're giving away a game. Stand by. Let's see if we can't give away 2 games. Let's see if we can't get you to $32,000. Jackie,
All right,
for
let's do it.
$2,000, who is not one of the 7 dwarfs? Dopey, Goofy, Doc, or Sneezy?
Goofy. Final answer.
All right. You are correct.
That took way too much thinking. I was like, wait, Goofy, he's a dog. Yeah, no.
They throw you off a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, for $4,000, how many inches tall was the original King Kong in real life? The movie King Kong in real life. How many inches tall?
What?
Was the original movie King Kong in real life? It's a weird one, isn't it? 8 inches, 18 inches, 28 inches, or 38 inches. You still have all 3 lifelines.
Okay.
So I think what they're asking is, how big was the prop?
How big was the prop? Okay.
How many inches tall was the original movie King Kong in real life?
All right, I'm gonna have to use a lifeline on this one.
Yeah.
Which one of these fellows knows about movie props?
I'm not sure. The chat room might know. You've also got the 50-50 where the computer will just take one away. But I don't know how you'd know, though. I don't know.
Where were the options again?
8 inches, 18 inches, 28 inches, or 38 inches.
All right, let's do the 50-50.
All right. Computer, remove 1 wrong answer. Okay. Just 2 left now. Computer has removed 2 wrong answers. There are just 2 left now. 18 and 28.
All right, we're gonna go with 18.
I like
Final
it.
answer.
All right. Okay. I'm with you. All right. Submitting that to the old computer. You got it. You got it.
I'm putting this up to beginner's luck here because that was sheer guessing.
I'm thinking like how much, like they want it big enough for detail, but not too big that they couldn't work with it.
Right? Yeah.
All right, for $8,000, what game do players flip winks in? What game do players flip winks in? Toddlywinks? Tadlywinks? Tuddlywinks? Tiddlywinks? Oh my, I don't.
The only one of those that sounds vaguely familiar is Tiddlywinks. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that.
All right.
Final answer.
Okay, all right. I can't believe it. You got it. You got it.
Nice.
I can't believe it. All right, you're just 1 away now from $32,000. So for $16,000, what language has the most words? English, Spanish, German, or
English, Spanish, German, or French? Huh.
You still have
feel
lifelines.
like
You could phone a cheesy, or you could ask the chat room. You get to that 32,000, you get that one right. We're giving away 2 games.
Yeah. Let's phone a cheesy.
All right, Mr. Bacon, prepare yourself. We're about to call you up, and we're going to phone a friend. Hey, Cheesy, what language?
Hi.
Hey, girl, what language has the most words? English, Spanish, German, or French? You got 20
Eisenhower. No, I'm going to go with, I'm pretty sure it's English.
Yeah, you feeling good about
because,
that?
Because not to be like a conceited American, but, or Brit, anyway, but just because people commonly say that the English language is so hard to learn because, there's so many different variations and pronunciations in the way words are spelled, I would say English.
All right, Cheesy. Thank you. You're out of time. All right,
Thanks, Cheese.
You heard him, Jackie. What do you think? English, Spanish, German, or French?
I'm going to agree with Cheese, and we do borrow from like every other language. So, yeah, English, final answer.
All right, okay. Locking it in, huh? Yeah, you got it.
Yay!
You got it, yeah. All right, so
Thank
now,
you, Cheese.
$32,000. If we get this one right, then we're giving away another game. 2 games in 1 episode is pretty good.
Oh, yeah? All right, we can do this.
Kibophobia is the fear of what?
Whatophobia?
I'm probably saying this one wrong. Kibophobia. Kibophobia. Kibophobia.
Kibophobia
is the fear of what? Food, money, clocks, or time?
Kibophobia.
And you do still have that 1 lifeline. You do still have Ask the Chat Room.
No, I think I've heard this before, and I think it's related to an eating disorder. So I'm gonna say fear of food.
Wow, that sounds like the worst thing. Okay, food. Final answer.
Final answer.
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome.
You got it. All right, we're giving away 2 games. Boy, if we get to $1 million, we're going to give away 3. Let's see if we get that far. All right, so for $64,000, whose working uniform is called a turnout? Whose working uniform is called, quote, his turnout? A fireman, a policeman, an electrician, or a paramedic?
Fireman, I think.
You feel good about that? Final
I feel
answer?
pretty good about that. Yeah, final answer.
All right.
Turnout.
You got it.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, you're on a roll. This is great.
I am on a roll.
This is so much fun. All right. We're getting really close. We're just 3 away from the $1 million question. For 100.
Wait, now how many times have you gotten to $1 million?
Once.
Once? Okay.
Yep, you'll be our second contestant to ever make it there.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of pressure, but all right, I'm on a roll. Let's keep going.
For $125,000, who is the patron saint of casket makers? St. Lawrence?
Casket? That's a thing?
Apparently. St. Lawrence, St. Sebastian, St. Stephen, or St. Dominic? We do have that Ask the Chat Room left.
Yeah, we're going to have to ask the chat room on this one.
All right, we can do that. All right, very good. Chat room, we're now going to you. Please feel free to drop your answers in there. We'll be watching. Who is the patron saint of casket makers? St. Lawrence, St. Sebastian, St. Stephen, or St. Dominic? Chat room, you have 20 seconds. See you. Go ahead. Anybody, also those of you on Mumble or on Source Connect are willing and able to participate in the IRC as well to help Jackie out here. Brent's taking a shot at it, it looks like. I'm seeing 2 different data points come in. It's not... I think I know which ones you can drop, but I don't think I know which ones are it.
Can you say the saints again?
All right, we have St. Lawrence, St. Sebastian, St. Stephen, and St. Dominic. Mostly I'm seeing St. Dominic come in.
I believe in you guys.
Here's what I didn't see, as I did not see St. Lawrence or St. Sebastian. Well, no, actually, okay. No, what I didn't see is, actually I didn't see much of Dominic or Lawrence. So B and C both have a 46 or 45%. 46 went with B, 45 went with C. So B is St. Sebastian and C is St. Stephen.
I'm going to go with Saint Stephen.
Yeah?
Yes.
Are we final answering that?
we're not entirely sure, but we're final answering it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. You got it.
Oh God, really?
You got it.
Oh, nice.
This is great. This is great. All right. Okay.
Nice. Thank you, chat room.
Now we are out of lifelines, but we are only 2 away from $1 million. So for $250,000, how many meters are there in half a kilometer? 100, 300, 500, or 700?
Okay, tell me those options again, please.
How many meters are in half of a kilometer? 100, 300, 500, or 700?
Oh, 500. Final answer.
Oh, I like that. Boom. All right, locking it in. Yeah, and you got it. All right.
That was a shockingly easy one at the high top there.
All right, here we go for $500,000. How many gallons of sap are needed to make 1 gallon of maple syrup? 1, 10, 50, or 100? How many gallons of sap are needed to make 1 gallon of maple syrup? 1, 10, 50, or 100?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna say I watched a whole documentary on this. I'm gonna say 10.
Like a 10 to 1 kind of ratio.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be a lot, right?
Right. Okay. No, oh, sorry. Can you say the question again? Is it,
How many gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup?
Oh, 1 gallon of maple syrup. Okay. And sorry, tell me the answers one more time, please.
1, 10, 50, or 100?
Actually, I'm gonna go with 50. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Seems like that's a pretty fair amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
Final answer?
I'm gonna go with 50. Final answer.
You got it.
Oh,
You got it.
that suspense is a killer right there.
Now for $1 million. How many astronauts walked on the moon during each Apollo moon landing mission? How many astronauts walked on the moon during each Apollo moon landing mission? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I believe that is 4. Final answer.
Okay, final answer. Oh, I am sorry.
Oh, no.
No, it was 2. It was 2. It was 2.
Oh.
Man, you did. Oh, I think we should still give away the game. What do you think? Since you got all the way there, right? All right.
Totally.
All right, we're giving away a game. I think that was great. And the final celebratory millionaire sting. Jackie, that makes you our number 2 contestant right there on the old Friday stream. Congratulations.
Oh, that makes me happy. Thank you.
Well done. Well done. And we will be giving away 3 games. That's a record, too, for the show. So how about that?
Awesome.
All right. So,
Awesome.
Jill, will you remind us after the show to actually figure out who's getting the games and do all that?
Sure, no problem.
All right. Well, are we all ready to start again? You know, I thought that might not be it. I wasn't sure what the answer was for that last one, but I was thinking to Apollo 11, and how I knew there were only 2 guys in Apollo 11. And so I thought it must be that.
I wasn't quite
it was
sure.
Armstrong and Grissom on Apollo 11, wasn't it?
Probably. That's still
If only I had one more lifeline.
That was a lot of fun. That was good.
That was so tense.
All right, we all ready?
Yes.
Okay, then let's start the actual show.
it.
Chat room, please burn suggest as we go along. And it starts right here in a 3, and a 2, and a 3, 2, 1.
Surprised? You forgot, my dear, that you and Frank are ordinary people with limited mental capacities. You couldn't possibly compete with a fully developed, powerful brain.
It's Friday. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday 12. Hey, Cheesy.
Whoa, what up? Friday.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. What are we listening to?
Sir? We are listening to a caw. I think they are actual birds because the name is AKAW. They're out of Austin. Surf band, obviously.
Yeah, I like it.
Couple of tracks from them this week. So this one is Bird Brain, and the one at the end of the show is El Guapo. So
very good. Well, we're joined by a special cast of characters. I'll bring in the Mumble Room first this time. Hello, Brent, Bite, and Jill. Good to have you here.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Beep boop.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. And then a shout out to Drew and Wes. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
Hi. And a very special welcome to the show for the first time, Jackie.
Good afternoon. I'm sure you're wondering why I've called you all here today.
I have been. Yes, I have been. I mean, we might as well hang out and do a show while we're here, though, right?
May as well, yeah.
Jackie, thanks for making it. She's joined us today. She is part of the Rooster Teeth community. She's been all over the web for years. She's married to the wonderful Drew. She is an artist, a podcaster, runs Linux on her laptop, loves to play little video games, and is hanging out on the Friday stream with us. Jackie, that is fantastic. Thank you for making it.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
And in part, it was because there's something behind the scenes that the team has been arguing about for months, and we've decided to air this grievance in the Friday stream. And you're going to help us articulate the other side, because we like to be fair and balanced. Well, we'll see about that when we get into this, but we all hate time zones. Hate them. Well, not all of us, but I hate time zones, and I think they need to go away. I think time zones, daylight savings, all of it needs to go away. It all needs to be completely revamped. Drew, am I right?
You are 100% correct.
And personally, I think that is just a terrible idea. Honestly, one of your worst.
I don't mean to cause marital issues here, guys, but this is going to be an issue we've got to solve here on the show. And Wes is here in ambivalence, I believe. Right, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can be the arbiter in this discussion. I will also add, the way, just because of what we do, we deal with time zones more than I think many people. If you live and work in one time zone and only know people in one time zone, it's probably not that bad.
It's no excuse.
We really run into problems when it's like, we have to deal with like 6 of them in any one day.
That is no excuse. That just is like, that's just saying that, well, yeah, that cruel dictator's tyranny doesn't affect me, so therefore I don't need to worry about it. I say, in fact, if it doesn't affect you, it's your responsibility even more so. Now, let's talk about the plan.
What's your plan then? Yeah,
well, there is a plan. Oh, I got a plan. Wes, I'm a man with, actually, it's not my plan. It's a plan covered over by the Washington Post to destroy all time zones. And they won't let you read it if you're blocking ads, FYI. So if you're trying to read the Post doing a live show and you've left your ad blocker running, you won't be able to read it on air, FYI. So somebody else could tell me what their plan is, I suppose. But they say there is a plan. God damn it. This stupid ad blocking stuff. It's the worst.
It really is.
Yeah. All right. So, Drew, do you have the essentials of this plan? Since even though I've now disabled my ad blocker, I cannot read this plan because I have sinned.
Yeah, so essentially what the idea is to just get rid of all time zones, get rid of the idea that time is different here than there. So, East Coast, West Coast, London, India, it doesn't matter where you are. It's all the same time. So you take UTC and which is, universal coordinated time or coordinated universal time, or depending on what language you're speaking, it's a little different. But you take UTC and apply it everywhere. So 0 o'clock is 0 o'clock around the world, and we just have global time. That's it. I mean, it's astoundingly simple.
That seems, it almost seems So I did very little research, but I did do a little bit. And I am actually kind of familiar, at least where time zones came into the U.S. in a big way, was when the train system was being implemented, and you would leave a town at one time, and you would arrive at another town that may be the same time you left at. It could be really arbitrary because essentially it was each individual town's responsibility to set the local time. And it didn't really matter because communications were so slow and so low bandwidth that it didn't really cause much of a conflict. But as higher speed transportation became more and more common, there needed to be a way to all speak the same time language. And you know, that was our solution here in the States. There's been solutions all over the world, but it just seems like it was like an old solution. Like if you were to start today, like if we were to move to a planet and colonize that planet, would we implement this same system? Honestly, do you think we would?
I think we would. And the reason why I think so is because time is essentially a social construct. As you said, keeping time was created by railroad companies because they needed something basically to organize the mess that was railroad schedules. But time, in terms of the time of day and the time on a watch, kind of creates a linear social structure for relating to other people in other places. So if I were to say 8 a.m. to you, Chris, who's 3 hours behind me, you would understand what that means colloquially to,
agree.
Well, the sun is, that high.
But couldn't you just swap out that with, say we developed a common language around the progress of the decaying atom that we use to set clocks? Like what if we just had, I will see you in 500 cycles, or, at 500 decay cycles, we'll meet for breakfast. And it doesn't matter where you're at because that atom's decaying at the same rate.
Well, you're kind of overthinking it there because you can just say 5 hours and the 5 hours will be the same and everybody meets up at the same time.
Well, what if you need something that's like, wait. See, the thing about the atom decay, here's why I like it, is because it's time and date in one instantiation. So you could say, I'll meet you at 1,000 decay cycles. Well, that could be 3 days, 4 hours at 8 a.m., it could be very specific for anybody anywhere in the world.
I like that, but come on, we can't even get metric right in the U.S.
well, the smartphone would actually just do it for you. It would be an app. Come on.
Chris, I think you just want star dates.
Yeah, you're right, Wes. Wes, I actually backwards my way from Stardate, thinking if we could have star dates, how would we actually pull it off? And that's how I got to that.
Well, I think Chris brings up a really valid point, too. Like, eventually when we do travel to Mars, what time are we going to be using on our ships? Is it going to be Houston time? Whenever we do
right?
travel in space, it's going to have to be some sort of a unit of decay or some sort of a measurement like that, right?
Well, the issue is that you're essentially only looking at it as a system of time from now rather than a time in terms of where the sun is at in position of where you are on the planet. That's going to affect the way people live their lives day to day. So, Drew was mentioning when he and I were talking about this before, switching to a 24-hour system with a universal time zone. And I get how that is simplistic in terms of not having to account for time zones when you're thinking about other people around the world. However, you do actually have to account for time zones and what other people are doing in other places of the world when you think about what hours businesses are open in a city on the other side of the world. What hour, somebody is actually awake on the other side of the world. You still have to do all that math. You still actually have to account for everything there. The time zones set and structured actually give you that formula already. If you were to take that away, then you're going to have to come up with that formula on your own.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm not saying that this would work, but wouldn't it be just fascinating for like a year if we could say the whole world runs off of Pacific time? I become ruler of the world and I make the entire world run off Pacific time. And that means if you're up at 7 p.m. getting up out of bed and making breakfast, whatever. Like if it's dark, like we shift everything. Everybody just follows one time zone. I think it'd be a fascinating experiment, but it would never happen until I'm ruler of the world. Because you're right. The issue is you have to accommodate for people being awake or business hours.
Well, coincidentally, China did try that. And China eliminated some time zones, and apparently they have had very bad luck with it. With a single time, they've not fully succeeded. There have been regional and local opening and closing hours for government offices and businesses that have had to be posted multiple places and still cause huge, traffic jams, literally and figuratively. And it has just caused a huge, massive problem all over the place because people have such a problem adjusting to it.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't surprise me. The robots won't have this issue.
Well, exactly. Well, I think you bring up that point too, and it also goes into the human psyche and your circadian rhythm and how your body, your sleep cycles are adjusted by these time zones. And they did something very similar in India, in the during the legacy of the British rule is the IST, which is an India Standard Time. So while India's 3,000 kilometers wide from east to west, would be like the equivalent of New York to Utah in time zones. They follow one specific time zone, and it has been known to have adverse effects on people's circadian rhythms.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, you start messing with when people are awake and stuff like that. Yeah, we all just need to nap more. That's the lesson learned.
Yeah,
it's just nap
I agree
more.
with that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
and now on with the show.
So Jackie, you're a podcaster, huh? What do you do?
I am. I have a podcast called Sirens of Scream. It's about all things horror related. We've been going for about 3 years now.
Really? I think Drew mentioned to me recently that you guys got a ban on Twitter temporarily too. What'd you do?
Yes.
How'd you get that?
Well, there are these filmmakers, the Soska twins, Jen and Sylvia Soska. They're fantastic writers and producers, developers, directors. They were actually banned from Twitter for promoting their new movie Rabid, which is a remake of an old Cronenberg movie. And the imagery they used was just a little bit too gory for Twitter's algorithm. So they instantly got a ban from that. So being horror fanatics that we are, we mentioned on Twitter that, the Soskas were banned for this. And, that's pretty terrible. That's kind of some really stupid censorship that, they would be banned for that because they had been banned for a couple weeks and did not get any kind of response from Twitter on how to get their account back. So we mentioned that one time, and then the next day we go to sign into our Twitter and suddenly our account is gone.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So now, not only is our account gone, we've been trying for well over, I think about 2 weeks now, to get our account back with literally no response from anybody on Twitter at all. We've tried so many different venues there to get to them.
Now watch us get banned. We're going to get banned.
But we actually reached out to the Soska twins, and they're coming on our show next week to talk about it. So
where do people find that?
So that actually... that's going to be on sirensofscream.com. We actually went ahead and started a new Twitter account this morning at Sirens Podcast, which I'm personally so annoyed that we had to do. But
and if that gets banned, then they're really going after you.
I know, right? It's incredibly annoying, but at the same time, I'm really glad that Soskas are going to come on and speak to us about it. They have a lot to say about the censorship issue in general and the whole Twitter escapade. So we're kind of excited to talk about it. It's just annoying how we got there.
From horror movies to Twitter banning drama, which nobody ever wants to get wrapped up in. Well, good luck. I hope you get your account back because it's a good way to connect with the audience. So that's... As a fellow podcaster, I feel you on that one. That really is awful. It's like, not that it like end of the podcast or anything like that, but it doesn't make your job any easier. doesn't it?
Yeah. It's luckily for us, our Twitter following was only a fraction of our actual listeners. So we do need to grow our audience anyway on Twitter. So it's not starting completely over there, but it is a hurdle. It is a problem.
Yeah. Things have changed, I tell you. It's interesting because algorithms and automated censorship systems. 2019 has both been like one of my best years in computing and also one of the most frustrating. It's that, and that's part of one of the frustrating things. Like, there's nice things too. Like, operating systems are getting kind of exciting again. Like, after a lull from everybody paying attention to mobile, and virtualization's getting better and more capable than ever, and containers make it possible for average guys like me to do average stuff. I mean, Wes, you and I have been talking about this for weeks now off air about how cool I think computers are actually getting again.
Yeah, I mean, there are just a lot of useful things. There's many different platforms that are all evolving, all being developed. It's interesting. We don't have as much control, I think, of all those things as we want. That's, we have to be a little skeptical of where we actually invest in, but there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, you're right. You do have to be a little more careful than you used to could. And Cheesy and I were talking about time capsules. We have some links in the show notes about an MIT time capsule that's not even going to be opened until 2957.
What?
Yeah, how about that?
Super cool. So this is right around it was in the 50s, right around the same time as the launch of the Sputnik and our race to space. And essentially what they did is whenever they opened this laboratory on MIT, they built a time capsule, but knowing that when time capsules are buried in metal boxes or wooden boxes, they often fail and the contents are mush. And so it's moot to even have buried the time capsule. Well, MIT, being MIT, figured out a way to do this, and they created their time capsule out of glass. And then they filled before the glass vessel was sealed, they filled it with argon gas to help prevent any sort of decay within the time capsule.
That's clever.
Tons of interesting stuff, and apparently this is just one of several that are buried all over the MIT campus. They did one whenever they got their cyclotron installed. When this particular capsule was buried, it was also around the same time the first IBM mainframe was coming online at MIT.
1957,
Yeah. So this is really kind of, the way I think of it is almost like the George Jetson era. Everybody is getting pumped up. New tech is, flowing. Things are happening. And so it's better time than now to document it, Super cool.
Yeah, that is.
Well, that is a good idea, right? Because we'll have more. It'd be interesting if we could sort of add on, like we could document, interpret it how we see it, and then all along until the final date, right? Because each society is going to have different interpretations, and then by the end of it, it's going to be very different.
Are you proposing?
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if humans are even around in 2957.
That's true.
Yeah, let's hope.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's true. I think what we need is a blockchain-based time capsule that we can always be adding to. Well, why don't we do a little time capsule ourselves? There was actually a discussion this week in User Air that got me thinking about storage. I'll play just a clip from User Air. The whole episode's, as always, really good, so go to air.show to get that. But there was the discussion about how the guys store their files if they use the default folders. It was a question that came in from the audience. And Joe just has a toss-away line in here that when I thought about it, I thought this is a whole conversation in Friday Stream.
Well, I've got a good excuse for never using the default folders, and that is that I generally have my OS on a small, fast drive and then all my stuff on a slower, bigger drive. And that used to be a SATA SSD and a spinning Rust. Now it's kind of NVMe and SATA or whatever. I just generally, or I have it on a different partition or whatever. I just have never got into the habit of using default folders. I like to do it. I don't like to be told how I'm going to use my computer. That's why I don't like elementary OS, I'm afraid.
So the thing he said in there that struck me was, I'll put my OS on a SSD and then my files on a big spinning Rust. But now I put my OS on an NVMe and my files on an SSD. And how fast, once SSDs hit the market, storage has changed in a way that makes the last 30 years look like this slow, arduous trek. And then all of a sudden, storage exploded. And I want to talk about my old crazy-ass expensive storage setups, old removable disk technology like zip drives. I want to get your stories, but I only have about the last 30 plus years worth of experience. I thought maybe what we should do is, with some help from the Computer Chronicles, go back in time a little bit and cover the very early days of storage that I didn't exist for, so I don't have any experience with, to help us appreciate where we're at right now. So a quick clip on really old storage tech.
Progress in the field of mass memory storage for computers has been directed by three basic needs: volume and density of information, and speed of access to that information. In the 1950s, computer data storage borrowed the recording technology being used by sound engineers, magnetic tape. Like its earliest predecessor, the wire recorder, oxide tape stored data sequentially. To reach information stored at the end of a reel meant running through everything stored on the tape up to that point. Short of faster tape drives, the only way to make data more accessible was to change the format of the recording medium. Disk storage, which allowed random access to information, was already under development in the mid-50s, but the popularity and potential of this technique became clear only in the last decade. The original 24-inch platters shrank to only 5 1/4 inches in diameter, while bit density increased 3,900 times, from a few thousand bits to almost 8 million bits per square inch. The improvements that led to that advance have today given way to new approaches that promise yet another dramatic increase in storage density. Thin film heads are smaller, more sensitive read-write heads made possible by technology developed in chip manufacturing. Because of their tinier components, they can read bits recorded much closer together on narrower tracks, about 12 million per square inch. Another development called perpendicular recording magnetizes the disk surface with vertically recorded pulses, data bits recorded on end instead of arranged horizontally. Once again, the effect is dramatic. This small change in the alignment of data means a 2 to 3-fold increase in storage capacity.
When we think about advances in computing, we often think about mobility, battery, connectivity, display, and we all appreciate storage is important. But the thing that's hard to appreciate now in 2019 that was very much the case, say, like in 85, early 80s, the personal computer, the computer we could all use, and the ones that go on office desks, we could not really figure out a way to properly at mass use them with large software without some form of storage. They called it initially backup storage, but it needed to be offline storage. It was called backup storage because it was storage you could use that wasn't cleared when the system was powered off. That's when the floppy drive and other mechanisms became very popular, and then eventually actual spinning hard drives. And that made computers capable of using much more complicated, sophisticated software, generating data with that software, and the user be able to go back, manipulate it, and gain value from it. It's really hard to understate how critically important storage was to making modern computing approachable by the masses. And I remember my first big hard drive that connected up to my Mac Plus was a 30 megabyte drive that was loud and slow, and it was a game changer for me. It meant that I could have games installed. I could have an operating system that wasn't based off of a floppy disk that was so much faster than a floppy disk. My early computing was all based on floppy disks or cartridges, depending on the system, for a very long time. And getting built-in storage was such a game changer. Do you remember like your early amounts of storage you had to work with, Cheesy?
Oh yeah. My very first, my 486 had I think a 340 megabyte drive in it.
Yeah.
And then I remember upgrading to a whopping 1 gigabyte drive after my like fourth CD burner, because they went like 2x, 4x, 8x, 16x, 900x. But yeah, and then the 1 gigabyte, and then when I went to college, I picked up my first 20 gigabyte drive, a Seagate drive, I believe it was, IDE drive. And of course, anyone that had ever been in IDE land and had occasionally been rushing to put their machine back together and misaligned the pins and the plug, and then you had to end up bending a pin, And so you had to go with
Yep.
like tweezers and kind of straighten the pin back out, but not break it, and then or get everything set up and realize your jumper was wrong because you still had to set jumpers on your
Yep.
drives back then.
Master, slave. They have the auto select, which never worked right. But, cable position, which I never trusted.
Yeah.
I never trusted.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And then it went on for me, so whenever I got into college, one of the things at the Art Institute that we were doing early video editing on toasters, essentially. And we had jazz drives. Well, they were great at
Yes.
school, and a jazz disc held 1 gigabyte of data, and it could fit in your pocket, which was ridiculous at the time.
All right, hold on. I want to come back to jazz disc because I got a thing on that too. But first, I want to hear Wes's like early day storage stories. Wes, what was your early storage setup like?
Oh gosh, I don't know that I was ever that storage constrained in my early computing, but I think the first disk that I got really excited about was a 20 gig main hard drive. And it was like, finally, I have enough space for everything. I think the first few years, I was just kind of, playing games, messing around, and I didn't need a lot of space.
Yeah, 20 megs. That's some good stuff there. Jackie, do you have early days of limited computer storage and trying to, keep track of files? And like homework for me was like a big one. Like I'd have homework floppy disks.
I used to carry around an unreasonably awkward external hard drive with shows and music on it so that I could actually have shows and music to listen to and watch to at work sometimes.
Hey, you got to and you got to move those big files around somehow.
Yep. That was basically the only good way at that time.
Oh, man. Still sometimes, depending on what you're moving, not the worst way. Drew, I imagine you've probably got a few stories about early days of limited storage.
5 1/4 floppies, baby.
Ah, yes. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
Everybody remembers the floppy disk. Even if they didn't have to use one, everybody has a visual of it.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean, beyond the Commodore 64, once we got into 386s and whatnot, the small drives and not being able to fit everything on there, and then the thing that I think I remember most keenly though is going to install Doom 2, and it came on 8 floppy disks. These were the smaller floppies, but put one in, wait about 10 minutes for it to copy all the data over. Okay, next disk. Oh yeah, and just keep going.
One thing
until you're
that
done.
has not been improved upon with the advances in storage, though, is how satisfying it is to push that floppy disk into the slot, though.
I agree.
Couldn't agree more.
We should talk about, so let's talk about how removable storage kind of developed. You heard Cheesy there mentioned a little bit, and CD-ROMs. Like what we have now is the CD. It's so simple. Yeah, it's a CD. It's just, you don't ask, is it a CD plus R? Is it a CD-RAM? But early on, optical media wasn't a slam dunk, and there was like an advocacy group that was trying to convince the public it was a good idea.
Still in its infancy, this industry is faced with several different standards, from 120 millimeter read-only CD-ROMs to several kinds of 130 millimeter or 5 1/4 inch writable discs.
But as we've been saying, these CD-ROMs were slow. They didn't store a bunch. There was a bunch of different formats. So then you had this other type of removable storage. It really evolved over the years. Some were enterprise grade, some were more focused at creative professionals. And the one that really took off, like in the graphics arts division in schools, it became infamous later on in its life. And I have a clip here of the one of the original iOmega Zip commercials.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are flying in the Bermuda Triangle, a place where things are known to disappear and are never found. Fortunately, we have an iOmega zip drive on board, and with it I can make a quick copy of all my important stuff. The 100 megabyte zip disk let me save, store, and take all my stuff with me. No need to panic. Okay, boys, let's take her back in. Hello?
Get an iOmega zip drive today, because it's your stuff.
Yeah, 100 megabytes. And then they came out with the Jazz Drive, which could go up to a gigabyte. And you have to appreciate these things. They were like large single platter discs in a floppy shaped cartridge with external drives that would all hook up over various means, SCSI, parallel, USB, all these different kinds of connection methods, and they were loud. And the one that my family ended up on was the SciQuest line of drives. I loved these. They came in 44 and 88 megabytes initially, and it's one of those items where I associate like this fond nostalgia with the sound of it, so I want to share it with you because I heard this 1,000 times in my youth, where you would slide this big disc in, lock it into place, and then you'd have to. I'll play it for you. It's so great. I got audio of it because I love it. Yeah, man, I do. Okay, here it goes. It's in the drive now. Isn't that great?
Oh, man.
Spinning up. First click in, now it's locked. This is the 88 megabyte one. You can tell because it's a little louder. Now you have to wait through all this searching. Still not ready to mount yet. Okay, now you
Still
can
going over the header file.
Now
That's
you
crazy.
can mount it right now, and there it goes. Eject. That's the lock coming out, and then you can eject the drive.
You can tell it's working. It's kind of nice, right? Like with these
nice.
NVMEs, you have no idea what they're doing.
And I like that as it pulls out of it just sounds so great. It's just the whole thing is it's classic.
Well, and I think that throws back to the nostalgia of the floppy as well, But man, God, I remember those drives so much. And the bottom of the platter had like 4 pins, and that's what would the actual drive would connect in because it spun at such high RPM. And that first click, I don't know if you remember, especially on the Jazz drives, was that metal door that covered the optical tape bit, and it would fling open and lock into place.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a little cover door on the cartridge. And I would my mom would have old ones that she no longer, she'd upgrade, and I would take her old ones, and I'd make it, this would be this set of games, and this would be this set of music files, and I would use these, and then if I wanted to go play a game, I'd have to go, to my shelf and pick out the SciQuest drive that would be in these little foam cartridges, and then and then the Click of Death came to the zip drives.
I was wondering, do you have the sample of a Click of Death? Because
I could probably find one. There was a lot. And do you remember too? The zip drives were so popular for a while that people are actually pulling out the floppy drive in their PC tower and putting the zip drive in its
replacing
place
it with a zip drive,
Yeah.
or you could even buy
I
a
had
tower with one instead of a floppy.
I totally had an integrated zip on one of my computers.
Did you? Oh, good
yeah.
times. Good times. All right.
So when I was at art school, I lost so many projects to this sound I'm sure we're about to hear.
Yeah, let's see. This is classic. Put the old zip disk in. That little noise right there. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's all it does. And that's
And
how
it
you
does
knew.
it
You knew you were
over.
You were done. You were done.
The
What data?
heartbreak
What data?
of bad storage problems with large PSD files.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I lost back then too. I mean, I was doing, some video editing in the first iterations of After Effects and stuff.
Oh, no.
And so, I mean, granted, it was like 320, 640 video, but you'd put hours into these projects on the school's machines, 3 hours into your project that day, and then go home and put another 3 or 4 hours into it on your own machine, and then bring it back up to school, and you get Click of Death. But I think what my mistake was back then, and I don't know that this to be true, but Chris, you remember you could hook these up via parallel or SCSI.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
So the
rumors
ones
that
at
sometimes
school
that would
was
mess it up.
SCSI.
Yeah.
Right. The ones at school were SCSI. Mine at home, because I couldn't afford a SCSI card in my AMD 350 tower, I had to rely on parallel port. So I think that was my problem. And so I ended up with so many just destroyed projects that I would just sit at the school all hours of the night and work on my project there.
Oh, I've lost too many projects. Maybe things are a lot better in that regard. Like I was saying, some things are so much better now. Now I have terabytes of storage on the network. I have terabytes of storage in the cloud. My laptops have terabytes of storage in them. It's so much better now. Disk storage, it's really hard to appreciate just how dramatic of a change it is. Because I think we always think about things in terms of like RAM, CPU, and video, and we've kind of stopped really thinking about storage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's changed. Well, now that I'm a little bummed out about those memories of lost projects, what do you say we pick things up with a little Friday stream millionaire? There you go. That's a good little drop point, I think, there, Drew, for it.
That's perfect.
So I think we won't be here next week. I think I should mention that because I think to give people extra time to pack and plan to travel. And then you don't have Friday stream to edit while you're here, right? Do I have that math right, Drew?
I probably will edit it while I'm there because I'm flying out at like midnight on Monday.
Right, unless we don't. That's
but
what
he
I'm
meant
saying.
if we didn't do it,
if we don't
right, next
do one,
week.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Right,
Yeah,
correct.
okay. I'm thinking
that makes
not.
life a lot easier for me.
I'm thinking just to make it easier for people to travel, and then since we're all going to be in studio for the next one, all right. So I'll come back with that, and that'll be our wrap up. Anything else before I get back into show mode? Resuming then. ChrisBot active. All right. Well, again, Jackie, thank you so much for doing that. I know it's we bring you on the show and then we throw you in a millionaire, but you did great. You're a number
Thank
2
you.
spot now. So I got to give a little bit of a heads up. I hate to do this. The audience knows how much this drives me crazy, but I've decided to make the life easier for everyone on the team. There will not be a Friday stream next week because everybody is packing up to travel into the studio. So I thought it would really be nice if they didn't have to spend the Friday they're packing doing a show. Crazy, right? So we've decided to take next Friday off, and then we'll be back the following Friday with everyone in studio. So that should be crazy.
In a way, all of us have an El Guapo to face someday. For some, shyness might be their El Guapo. For others, a lack of education might be their El Guapo. For us, El Guapo is a big dangerous guy who wants to kill us.
Thank you for joining us today, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the Friday stream. Jackie was great hanging out with you.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a lot of fun today.
All right, Cheesy, one more time. Who are we listening to on the way out of here?
We are listening to Akaw, AKAW, surf rock band out of Austin. Again, thank you to Jackie and a plug for Sirens of Scream. Check her podcast out and help her get unbanned from Twitter.
Yeah, or just grow our new Twitter, for that matter.
Also, thank you to Jill for the game giveaways. Been coordinating that in the live stream. We'll be talking about that in the post show. Guys, I will see you back here in 2 weeks for a special in-studio edition of the Friday stream. Thank you for joining us. See you not next week. JamieTitles.com. I like Storage Heartbreak, Mr. Payne. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Floppy Fondness
I think
was also
Jackie,
a good one.
Jackie said it. I'm just writing them down.
Nice. Good capture. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So, Jill, who won the? Who ended up walking away with the game giveaways?
Yeah, so we have El John D with Mad Max, and West Tex Jeff with Space Farmers, and right now no one else was interested.
I love that West Tex Jeff got the Space Farmers game. You know that makes me happy.
That makes me so happy because I know that West Tex Jeff used to work on tractors.
Well, then Jill,
that's
tractors
very
that
cool.
ran Linux, I believe, too.
So could we give El John D or West Tex Jeff another game?
Well, or what do you think about maybe somebody should tweet you that listens, because we never give away a game to the download audience. Why don't we give this as an opportunity to give away a game to the download audience?
Okay.
And whoever tweets you first, if you're good with that, you
Yes.
okay. So what's your Twitter handle?
That sounds wonderful. Jill_Linux Girl.
There you go.
JILL_LINUXGIRL.
There you have it. So you tweet Jill, tell her you listen to the Friday stream, and you'd love a free game, and she'll
First
hook you.
2 people, yeah.
First 2 people? 2 people or 1 people?
I think it's 2, but
1.
Well, 1
because we're doing 2 in the chat room, Cheesy. Come on.
Oh,
come on.
I'm sorry.
We're giving away 2.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? We had, what was it? Shadow of Mordor, I believe.
Yeah.
And it works on Linux.
Good one.
Yes. And that's the Game of the Year edition as well.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Brent coming in with the Click of Death. That's also a good title. The Click of Death and Storage Heartbreak. JBTitles.com. Boat to the Death.
A question for you. I noticed we didn't do the housekeeping. Just asking if that was intentional.
Oh, right. No, I'm just, I wasn't used to doing housekeeping here in the old Friday stream. Yeah.
I don't know if we could do it separate or if that's worth it, but...
You know what we should mention, though? Because one of the things that's totally worth mentioning before we wrap up the pre-show is go check out the new LinuxAcademy.com website. New redesigned website looks so slick. So go check that out. You see that?
You sang that great.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm excited. I know they've been working hard.
Really good.
Yeah. So.
What did that girl just say, girl?
It looks great. They really did a good job. Yep. So yeah, and on top of that, they've been cranking out those closed captions too for a bunch of the courses. Launching a new website, doing the closed caption stuff, and that's just like a portion of some of the stuff they're working on.
Yeah, they've been steadily building up the closed captions, and now I think almost 100% of the courses are closed caption, if not 100%. And that's super great for people,
it's getting there,
have accessibility.
Yeah, they're doing it in stages, not all of them yet, but it's close.
Yeah, if you're out of the region or you're hearing impaired, that's excellent. Excellent move for them.
Well,
hey, Chris, can you do one more take on that? You said before we wrap up the pre-show, there won't be a pre-show on this one.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Well, why don't we do that before we wrap up the old post show here? We're not done yet. We can still talk about this. This is actually really cool.
That'll work.
All right. Well, then you know what we just need to do is get us out of here. So anybody have any last bits of wisdom before we all hit stop?
Chris,
Yes.
you have seen my robot.
Yeah, I love your robot. Byte is building a robot. Soon we won't have to leave we won't have to leave our homes because Byte will have built a telepresence robot that will go in our place.
Oh, that's great. About time, I'd say.
I want to be a beta tester.
I'm building it so it can be 3D printed and with standard components like Raspberry Pi and just Wi-Fi and an LCD screen, and then from remote you can do some basic controls.
That's cool.
I think Robot Zuck just woke up. Did you hear that? Maybe there's already a telepresence robot out there.
Zuck.
Oh, well, so I want to be a beta tester, so just let me know when I no longer have to leave my RV, and I'm on board.
So are you using the Raspberry Pi to power the servos and all of that?
Yeah, that's the idea.
The robot?
And it's just a 2-motor drive, so forwards and turning, and even with a base with key charging in it. So if you don't want it running around on your desk, you put it on the charge point and it can rotate while charging.
Byte's actually building Jetson stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty incredible.
I might want to make a little more work for you, Drew. I might do another transition out of Millionaire and then talk to Brent about his adventures with the JB crew with encryption storage. So hold on a second, okay? So what I'm going to do is so Jackie, I'm gonna call out to you again saying thank you for jumping in, and then I'm gonna okay. All right. I gotta get myself in the headspace right here. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta get in the headspace. That's pretty great, though. Thank you again, Jackie, for jumping in. We bring you in as a guest and then throw you into the Millionaire game, and you did great.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I really enjoyed it too. That was tense at moments. I got the sense
Absolutely.
that last Sunday there was a few tense moments for Brent because I'm sitting here recording LAN as I do on a Sunday, and I get this message from Brent, and he's like, "Hey, I know it's Sunday, but I got a situation." What happened, Brent?
Oh, well, I had spent most of my day trying to solve a problem that I've had in mind conceptually for a while, which is trying to unlock a root drive encryption with a file key on a USB drive. So not password based, but with key file based, but on something that's removable. And I thought, oh, surely this is possible. And I've heard some people talking about it, but I'm going to try it myself. And so, of course, ArchWiki was there, and I had done a whole bunch of researching as I do meticulously, but ran into a whole bunch of pickles, and I couldn't get it to work. And I thought, oh, I have done this before previously with non-root drives. Actually, I did on the way to Linux Fest on the airplane, which was a little risky, but it worked great. But I just couldn't get the root drive to go. So I knew I was missing something, and I was reading a whole bunch and just couldn't figure it out. So I got to that point, I think, where most of us have gotten before trying to solve something, where I was just like,
So the system won't boot? Close. You can't get the system up at all?
Basically, I get an initram prompt. I just wiped everything. So, well, not wiped everything, but didn't quite understand what I was completely screwing up. Basically, part of the process is you have to rebuild the initram FS, and in that process, something was going wrong. And leaving me with a non-system. Luckily, I was doing this on a burner laptop.
Oh, good.
Yeah, come on.
So it was a grub rescue shell?
I've learned that lesson before. And so what ended up... Go ahead, Drew.
I was just going to ask, was that it dropped you out a grub rescue shell?
No, it wasn't even grub. It was before that. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Quite wrong. But I knew, okay, well, I'm just iterating on these mistakes that I'm making. But I was at the point where emotionally I was just like, oh gosh, nothing I'm trying here is going right. So I'm going to reach out to some people that I know. There's a whole bunch of people in the JB crew and the network that know a lot more than I do in these things. So I thought, okay, I'm going to reach out. So this was Sunday. I had spent, several hours, but I knew, okay, this is Sunday. Who am I going to reach out to? So I basically sent a bunch of messages. Chris, you got mine, and Drew, you were kind enough to reach out to me as well, and got, I think, intrigued. And we weren't able to make that much progress, but you got me more excited, at least emotionally, to try to solve the problem. I reached out to Joe, who was still awake, and basically said, oh, I haven't played with encryption that way before. But what was great is, of course, Wes was able to point me in a few directions. Somehow he seems to solve everyone's problems at any time of the day, it seems. Yep. Many applause.
That's what I'm here for.
You even offered to have a phone call later if I couldn't figure it out. Luckily, I did figure it out with sort of the various rabbit holes that we went down. And so I was able to get it working. A huge thanks to everyone I reached out to, including you, Chris, and the JB crew, just to say, no, I don't know this, but you got this. And it was pretty cool. So I think I might, I kept notes about all that stuff. So maybe I might share that at some point.
That clip, that Wes was right clip, becomes more and more relevant all the time. Well, I'm glad to hear that worked out for you, because I've recently begun Lux encrypting, or not recently, but this last go around when Fedora 30 came out, I decided to do the full disk encryption, which I normally don't do, because I have been...
You normally don't. Wow.
Yeah, I've been on that tech support side where I've been trying to, decrypt people's computers and save their files, and I just thought, I never want that to happen to me. But this time around, because it's a Linux Academy computer, it's not... I feel like I have, I have to respect their security. I have to, it's more than just my security now, you know what I mean? So right. I decided to do it. And it's been totally
You're so
fine.
Responsible.
Oh, stop. It's been totally fine.
Does anyone else have experience with encryption? I feel like in some ways I might be the only one, but that's not true. I'm learning. So anyone?
Oh, it's not too uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, every machine that I reload or load here in the last year and a half, I always use full disk encryption on. I mean, it's mainly been using Pop! OS and Elementary and Manjaro.
I always do on laptops, but typically not on desktops that stay at my house all the time.
Do you guys remember me telling you about the story of this old lady that came to the junkyard and wanted to walk around the barn and talk about how she used to live there and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So Hadia and I decided to go to the gym in the evening, I think Monday night, just to go sit in the hot tub. And we pull into the parking lot, and it's just a half hour before the gym closes. And there's one other car in the parking lot. And this car is unmistakably hers because it is a Ford Bronco 2 with the top chopped. It's got no back. It's got no top. It does still have the side windows. And then it has probably 6 antlers affixed to it. As well as what appear to be something like dishes or other accoutrements that have been painted gold and then are fastened to it. So it's a very recognizable vehicle. And my heart.
This sounds like the setup for a story that would be on one of my shows.
This is a real story. This gal is an intense lady. One afternoon, just a quick recap for you, Jackie, since we're here. One afternoon, we have a gate, and we just sometimes leave it open if we're coming and going a lot or the kids are coming and going. And we had it open, and there's, 3 kids and a dog in the yard. And this gal starts just bombing into our there's not a driveway, really. It's just a yard. Bombing into our yard, driving into the grass. And then stops her vehicle and just starts rambling about how she's on a spiritual journey and the energy of that journey has led her to the junkyard where she used to live. It's really a barnyard, but we call it the junkyard. And
sure, she
wanted to know if it'd be okay if she could go in and reconnect with the energy of the barn. And then she took Hadia and the kids through and told her all kinds of crazy stories.
Sounds totally normal.
Yeah, so she's very intense. And I'm going to get my chill on at the gym in the hot tub thinking it's going to be me and a few other folks at most, and I get there and she's the only other car in the parking lot, and I stop Hadia and I say, we can't go in. Hadia's like, you don't know where she is, and then I'm like, babe, where do you think she's going to be? She's like in her 70s. She's not in there lifting weights.
You know where she's going to be.
Yeah. And she's like, it'll be fine, it's not going to be a big deal. I'm like, and she's like, all right, she's in the hot tub, we'll just go sit in the sauna, okay? I'm like, okay, all right. Well, so we go in there and, we both go off into our individual lockers and we come out in the pool at the same time. The doors open up and sure enough, the gal, the spiritual gal she's in the pool right next to the hot tub. They share the same wall. So it's literally, she's right next to the hot tub, but not in the hot tub. And we're across the room from each other because we've just entered from our individual lockers, which are across the pool. And so we have to decide, do we go to the sauna or the hot tub? Because she's not technically in the hot tub, but she is near the hot tub. And then you don't want to be weird and you want to be in the hot tub. That's why you're there. So we both go for the hot tub and we sit down. And for the first few minutes, it was fine. It was fine. But
You're smiling.
Then the gal starts she's looking at Hadia. She doesn't really recognize me, but I think she recognizes Hadia, and she's smiling, and you can tell she's trying to put it together. She's not sure if she should start talking to us, and she's kind of talking to herself a little bit and exercising in the pool, just basically stretching out, staying healthy. And so Hadia and I are sitting there for 5-10 minutes. And mind you now, we've had to pack up our swimming stuff, drive to the gym, go in the locker, get naked in public in the locker, change, go get in their stupid shower, then go sit in the hot tub. And now we're in the hot tub for 10 minutes. We're kind of looking at each other. We're like, let's bail. Let's get out of here. Because she's starting to talk to us. Let's get out of here. So we go sit in the sauna for a few minutes and then left. I'm getting chased around by this person. You know what it is?
I'm curious, how convinced are you that this is not Dr. Reverend?
This is what I was just going to say. I'm not even joking. I'm not even playing around. I was literally going to say, what if this is the Reverend messing with me?
I mean, you never called her back, right?
I know.
She has every right to be mad at you.
That is exactly what crossed my mind.
She could tune into JB and realize that there's a rover log.
Man, all it would take is her just doing a little bit of Googling, put a couple of things together. I mean, it's totally
Consult with
possible.
her crystals.
You know what? That's the other thing to consider. Maybe she does have high superpowers and she was able to locate me. All I know is this lady's showing up all over the place, including driving into my yard. And I've been a member at this gym for a year now, and this is the first time ever. And I decided on a rando night to go there, and out of nowhere she's there. It's weird, man.
That's super weird, bro.
All right, let's stop
I don't
recording.
know how. Yeah.
I'll stop. All right, that could be the end of the pre-show right there. I think they're Drew or post-show. Sorry, I keep calling it the pre-show.
I was actually thinking about moving the hot tub segment like to the beginning.
Sure.
Right after introductions.
Could work. Could whatever you want to do. Whatever.
It's kind of like a Dr. Reverend update. I feel like.
Yeah, I'll play with it.
I do have one last thing to tell you about the whole time zone thing.
Oh yeah.
If we were ever to move to a universal time zone, it would make Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 irrelevant, and that's not a world I want to live in.
That's true.
Oh, that's so good. Well said.
That could have been the end of the post show right there.
You know what kind of calendar we need? The Cotsworth plan. The Cotsworth plan is a 30-month calendar where every month has the same days. Every day of the week has so every Monday has a specific starting date, and you can calculate everything. It's really easy, really nice calendar. The Cotsworth plan or the International Fixed Calendar.
I've heard of this before.
Put a
and I've read
link to that
deeply
in
about
the
it, and it's pretty amazing.
IRC.
Yeah.
I want
I
to
like
know
to read
what
about
title we're using. JBTitles.com.
Yeah.
There's some good ones. Let me get over there. And
Storage
get my vote
Heartbreak
on.
is leading. Click of Death coming in at number 2.
I like Floppy Fondness too. I'm gonna give that one a vote.
Ooh, that's double
Floppy
entendre.
fondness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wes was completely on fire in terms of titles this Friday stream.
I just
It's
can't.
like every few minutes.
You got to be useful in some way, right?
He's been on fire pretty consistently for the past week.
Someone must have
Whoa.
upgraded him or something.
Ah, maybe some B12
Blockchain
supplements.
time capsule.
Shh, don't reveal my secrets.
Why is everything I'm voting for it's Wes? What?
I'm telling you,
He's got the
they're great.
title. He's got the title monster in him.
Don't
Just-
question it. Don't even look. Just look at the titles. You got to be objective.
I am. I haven't. I just now looked at all the ones I clicked on are Noble Pain.
There you
Except
have it.
I
Can you
still like
sort
Click
by
of Death.
user?
Can you? You can.
Yes,
oh
you can.
my God. When did the internet invent that?
The internet
Wes
is a
doesn't
magical
forget that
place.
one.
This is like Web 3.0.
Yeah, but I still get an IP address in the address bar, so I don't think so.
Hey, we like to keep it real, man. No front.
Oh yeah, we can
here.
probably fix that now.
No
I assume
front.
that domain.
You can also
transferred.
telnet to that and watch Star Wars.
That's good to know.
Lies. Those are lies. Don't listen to
You're
them.
disappointing everybody. Jeez.
We can just forward them on to blinking lights or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Little telnet proxy.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Okay.
Get that
Work
groove.
that
Time for us
file.
to get off the YouTubes.
Work that
You know what
file.
that means. YouTube, thank you for watching. The stream will continue over jblive.tv for a little bit. Thank you very much. So we got to go. Otherwise, we're going to get in trouble. We're going to get banned. Bye, YouTube. We love you.
Bye, dudes.
Wish new phone. Who this?